Okay, today we're talking about more probability, 10.6. Basically, we're kind of putting everything together. You need to remember everything that we've been doing. So that's it. All right. Everything put together. You have to figure out what you have to do. Now, we are talking about probability today. Okay? Whenever you see the word probability, you know that your answer is going to be a fraction, a decimal, or percent. Because fractions, decimals, and percents all mean the same thing, right? So a clue to you when you are taking your tests and stuff is that whenever you see the word probability, you know your answer has to be a fraction. Okay? All right. So a bag contains 2 red, 4 yellow, 6 blue marbles. 2 marbles are drawn at random. Find the probability of each event. Okay. Did they say that they're replacing them?
No.
So you assume they aren't. They're taking out 2 marbles, okay? Unless they say they're being not replaced, or unless they're saying they're being replaced, assume they are not being replaced. Okay, so first of all, what is our total? Okay, so we just want to kind of write that out. We have total of 12. Okay, what's the probability both of them are red? So how many reds are there to begin with? 2. I see some phones, which makes me not happy. Okay, we pull out a red, and now we're taking the probability of the next one. Very good. 1 over 11 is correct. And then it's always easiest to reduce before you multiply. So can I reduce here?
Yeah.
Good. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 12 divided by 2 is 6. And then that's it. And we get 1 over 66 as our answer. Okay. Probability both are yellow. I'm going to give you about 15-20 seconds to do this one on your own. Okay, the correct answer is 1 over 11. So what was the first fraction? 4 over 12. And then you take 1 out, and then it is 3 over 11. And then we know that 4 times 3 is 12, right? So I cross those out, and we just end up with 1 over 11 as our answer. Any questions? Okay, example 2. The letters A, B, C, D are on slips of paper. Find the probability they are pulled out in alphabetical order. How many slips of paper am I going to pull out? 4. Sometimes it's easier to make your blanks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So when you're pulling your first slip, how many choices do you have in order for it to be in alphabetical order? 1 choice. Because the first letter has to be what? A. But how many choices are in the bag? 4. Okay? The next one, I want it to be B. How many choices do I have? 1, but now there are only how many slips of paper in the bag? 3. And then the next one would need to be C. There's only 1 C out of 2. And then D, you have 1 choice out of 1 left. 1 over 24 is the correct answer. Okay, questions? Okay. Example 3. Suppose 1 card is drawn at random from a standard deck of 52 playing cards. Find the probability of each event. The card is either a face card or an ace. Very good. How many face cards are there? 12 out of. Plus, how many aces are there? And how many aces overlap with face cards? None. We add them together and I get 16 over 52. And can that reduce? At least 2. 4 works. Okay, so we end up with 4 over 13. Okay, I'm going to give you about 15-20 seconds for B. Okay, so how many diamonds are there? 13 out of 52. Plus, how many black 10s are there? 2 out of 52. And how many diamonds and black cards overlap? None. Is that a trick question? No, you guys are too smart. Okay, there's your answer. Any questions? All right, example 4. The letters of the word favor are written on a slip of paper, and then all 5 slips of paper are pulled and put into a hat. If each one of the slips of paper are removed, find the probability that they will be removed in the order so that they spell the word favor. Okay, so how many letters am I going to pull out? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many F's are there? 1 out of how many? 5. How many A's are there? 1 out of 4. How many V's? 1 out of 3 O's. And then 1 out of 1. And we multiply all that together and we get 1 over 120. Are we good? Question? Okay. Okay, the numbers 1 through 6 are written on separate pieces of paper and put into a bag. Find the probability they'll be removed one at a time and be in increasing order. Does this sound familiar? It's the same type of problem, right? So on this one, it's going to be what? 1 out of 6, 1 out of 5, 1 out of 4, 1 out of 3, 1 out of 2, and 1 out of 1. Yeah, even though it said increasing order, there's still only one number 1 out of 6. One number 2 out of 5 now. One number and so on, right? Because there's a specific number you're going for. There's only one of those specific numbers. You multiply that together and you get 1 over... Okay. Example 6. A bag contains 5 red and 4 white marbles. A marble is to be selected and not replaced. These are key things that I usually circle in the bag. A second marble is then made. A second selection is then made. Okay, that was weird. What is the probability of selecting 2 red marbles? So we're going to select 2 marbles and they're not being replaced. And it says 2 red marbles. How many red marbles are available for my first? 5 out of 9. And then it is not replaced, so then there are... Perfect. And we can reduce the 4 and the 8. We get 1 over 2. Nothing else reduces. And we get 5 over 18. Okay, 7. 3 letters were selected from the 26 letters of the alphabet. What's the probability the letter E was picked third? Okay, we're selecting 3 letters. I'm making 3 blanks for 3 fractions. Oh my goodness. Okay, so it says that the letter E was picked third. Now you have options with this, but what I'm going to do is there's only one option for letter E, right? So in the third spot, I'm going to put a 1 here on top. So I can't choose the E for my first letter. So how many choices do I have for my first letter? 25 out of 26. Okay, and then I choose a letter, and then this one will end up being 24 out of 25, and then this one will be 1 choice out of 24. So what ends up happening? These cancel, and my answer is what? Okay, now think about this. We're going to go backwards and think. It says, what's the probability that the letter E was picked third? Exactly. So doesn't that make sense? Why would it be 1 out of 26? There's 1 out of 26 chance that the letter E is picked third. No, but does that make sense? It doesn't? No, you didn't waste lead because it gave you understanding. Okay. Can I move on? Are we okay? Okay. 2 sisters auditioned for a position to play clarinet for the Philharmonic. If 6 people in all applied and 2 people are selected, find the probability the 2 sisters will be selected. How many people are being chosen?
6.
No. What is your total amount of people that are auditioning?
6.
There's 6 people total. My total is 6. Okay? Now it says, find the probability the 2 sisters are to be selected. So what's my probability for the first person being a sister? How many sisters are there? 2 sisters, right? So that's 2 out of 6. 2 out of 6 could be chosen to be sisters, right? I might have said something wrong, but do you understand why it's 2 over 6? Okay. 1 sister has been chosen. She's in.
So then 1 out of 5.
Exactly. And then we reduce. We get 1 over 3, and we end up getting... You can tell me what I said again later. Okay. Example 9. I feel like this is a challenge problem, but it's really not that challenging, so it makes me want to see if anybody can get it right on their own. So, you can do it. First 3 people getting it right are going to get a candy.
Really? You're already... She's younger than us. Her life is...
Oh, okay, sorry. You guys are too fast for me. Anybody else have it? The answer? You got it. But I'll still check answers. No.
I know.
You got it.
Okay. Turn our homework in here. Oh my god.
They're amazing.
Perfect.
Nice there.
Yes. No. Okay. All right. Dilly, do you need to borrow a pencil? You can ask me. You can even come up to my desk and like borrow stuff. And then I have like that box of pencils back there that's like for anybody to take and use. I did at the very beginning of the year. Hey, here's a box of pencils. If anybody needs a pencil, feel free to come and borrow one. If you need to take it, I'll even let you take it, but sometime I'd love you to replace it, if you ever were able to. Okay. All right.
Let's get going, kiddos.
All right. Samantha has 2 bags of candy. Okay? So she has 2 bags of candy. Bag number 1, bag number 2. This is how I do it. Okay. Each with 5 butterscotch. So I have 5. I'm going to put butter. I was going to abbreviate for something else. But then I realized that might not be great. 5 butterscotch candies and 3 cinnamon. So 3 cinnamon. Okay. From the first bag, she takes out 1 candy, which ends up being a butterscotch. So she takes out 1 from here. So now how many do I have in that bag 1 for butterscotch? 4. And she puts the other candy back into the second bag. So that means this is no longer 5. This one is now 6. Because she took 1 butterscotch from bag 1 and she put it into bag 2. What's the probability that when her friend takes 1 candy out of bag 2 that it will be cinnamon? So how many cinnamon are there? 3 out of a total of 9. And that reduces to 1/3. And that's how you get your answer. And see how easy it is if you just write it down? Okay.